Okay, now we'll derive drift velocity in terms of different quantities, that is potential difference, current, and other terms. Okay. Now we'll just I have written the formula over here that we have proved already. Drift velocity Vd is equals to minus E tau upon m, where E is electron, E is external electric field, tau is relaxation time, average relaxation time, and m is mass of electron. Okay. Now we know V equals to dV equals to minus E dx. This we have proved in previous chapter. Okay, that is potential difference across any electric field. Okay, now our conductor is this. Okay, so it is of length L, potential difference across that is V, and E is our external field. So can I write this? V is equals to minus E into L. Okay, V is potential difference, E is external electric field, and dx is the length, and here length is L. So can I write it in this form? So from this, can I write E equals to minus V by L? Okay, so I need to put this term in this formula. So what I will write? Vd equals to minus E minus V by L upon m, or I can write directly whole upon m into tau. So this can be written as minus minus will become plus EV upon LM tau. This will be potential difference. This will be drift velocity in terms of potential difference or in terms of V. We will be using this in future derivations. Okay. Now if you want to find relation with current, current I. Okay, now what is current? Current is flow of electron, okay, or flow of charge. So for that we need to find Q. What will be the amount of electrons passing? For that, let me make a diagram to make you understand. Okay, we are having length L. Okay, so suppose the volume the electrons passing through unit volume, okay, is N. N is number of electrons. N is equals to number of electrons passing through unit volume. Number of electrons passing through unit volume. Okay, so if you want to find total number of electrons passing, will be equals to E, that is electron, into N into total volume of cylinder. Simple. If from unit volume N number of electrons are passing, then total it can be multiplied by total volume to find the electrons passing through total volume of the cylinder. Okay, so I can write Q is equals to E N and total volume. I write V as capital V to identify the total volume. Now I need to find this volume. What is the volume? Can I write volume is equals to area into length? Can I write it? Area, this cross section area into length. Okay, if I you all know that what is the formula of volume of cylinder, that is pi r square h, or you can say pi r square L if it is in terms of L. So here if I want to write area is cross section area of this part, that will be pi r square circular part into L. So this is the formula. So instead of this I can write A into L. Okay, now you know what is drift velocity. Because we want to write it in the form of drift velocity, we'll find what you can write in drift velocity. Drift velocity, simply you can write distance upon time. You can write it in this form. What will the distance over here? It will be L. Okay, time is tau. Okay, so we can write L equals to Vd into tau. Can I write in this manner? This is L, that is L is equals to Vd into tau. So I can put this L over here also. Okay, we'll take everything on the next page. Okay, let us take over here only so that you can look at both the things. Okay, we have very small space, but we'll still try to put it. So Q equals to E N into volume. Instead of volume, what we'll write? A into L. Okay, so I'll write A. Instead of L, what we have derived? Vd into tau. Vd into tau. Okay, or you can directly write T, that is total time. Okay, now you know what is the formula of electric current, that is charge per time. Okay, so Q by T I can write is equals to E N into A into Vd. Okay, so what is Q by T? Q by T will be equals to I, that is current. So I will be equals to, I am just changing this terms, order of this term, V into E into N into A. This is electric current in terms of drift velocity. Okay, a simple method to remember this, Vena, V-E-N-A. If I write it in Hindi, it will be Vena. Okay, just to remember, you can remember this word to remember this formula. Okay, I hope this much portion is very clear to you. Okay, now I have written once again the formulas from the previous page. We had proved Vd is equals to Ev upon Lm into tau. That was in terms of potential difference. Okay, and current we had found out this. Now instead of this, what we do? We'll put the value of Vd in terms of potential difference. So I will be equals to Vd. Instead of Vd, I can write Ev by Ml into tau into ENA. So I is equals to, I'll put this V, that is potential, at the end, E square N tau upon Ml into A. Okay, into V. A will be over, I can write A also inside it and V here. Okay, once again I'll write it. I is equals to E square and tau A upon Ml. Okay, if I write in the opposite terms, V equals to Ml upon E square and tau A into I. Is this in the form of V proportional to I? Okay, M, mass of electron, that is constant. Length of any object, that is also constant. E square, that is charge on electron, that will also remain constant. Number of electrons passing through a unit volume, that will remain constant if the temperature is constant. Okay, time for passing is also constant. Okay, and area is also constant. So this whole term becomes constant. Okay, if I want, I will write over here M is equal to mass of electron, L is equals to length of conductor, E is charge on electron, charge of electron, N is number of electron through unit volume. Okay, tau, relaxation time. Relaxation time is constant if your temperature remains constant. Okay, and A, area of conductor, cross section area of conductor. Okay, so from here all these quantities are constant. So if these quantities are constant, we can write V is proportional to I. So from this, what do we get? Do you remember when V was proportional to I? V is equals to IR. I hope you remember this. So we can we write R is equals to ML upon E square n tau A. Okay, can I write this? Yes, I can. So resistance is equals to ml upon E square n tau A. So you will get from here the origin of Ohm's law, from where the resistance started and from where the Ohm's law started. This is a resistance, and from this V is proportional to I, and this term is your resistance. Now if you want to find the same thing in terms of resistivity, we already know R is proportional to L, R is inversely proportional to A, okay, and R is equals to rho L by A, where rho is nothing but resistivity. Rho equals to resistivity. This we have done in the previous lecture only. Okay, so now instead of R I can write this. This is nothing but comparing all the terms in different formation. This you can do it yourself also. That is not a difficult thing. Okay, I'll write R is equals to ml upon E square and tau A is equals to rho L by A. This L can be cancelled, this A can be cancelled. So resistivity is equals to m upon E square and tau. Okay, so it will be in this term. So resistivity does not depend on anything, but it depends on the material only. Okay, from here you can also say that resistivity does not depend on dimension of the material also. It only depends on the material, that is number of free electrons that are moving in a unit time. Okay, here there are no dimension, constituents which shows the dimension. Dimension can be showed only by L and A, which are cancelled out. So here mass, free electrons that are moving, n is number of electrons through a unit volume, and T is the time in which they are moving. Okay, now if you want to write this in the terms of conductivity, 1 by rho is equals to sigma, that is conductivity. So conductivity can be written in the form of, I will just reverse it. Okay, this is in terms of conductivity. Okay, you can write it in the form of